Aloha, folks, and welcome to Kimo's Own Grinds. Today we're going to do a little bit of southern thing. It's called the chicken pot pie. This is my interpretation. I know there's 5 billion interpretations of this, but we're going to do this. If you come a little bit closer, you can see where the magic is happening. This is actually Blanch chicken. I put chicken stock. I also put a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, ginger, a little bit of parsley, and let it boil for maybe about 15 minutes or until it's done. Now you can do the bone, but these are boneless. And then these are my root vegetables. I grew them in my garden. No, not really. I bought them at the major stores. So this is actually potatoes. I use white potatoes only because my family has diabetes and they're the ones with the less starch. I got fresh carrots, fresh celery, and fresh onion. All I did is add a little bit of olive oil and some butter, because you know what, the margarine stuff, I don't think so. But anyways.
How long did you cook them?
I cooked them for about 15-20 minutes. Now I used my cast iron skillet with my 1 burner thing. Now if you only have electric, then you do it accordingly. I did it about 15-20 minutes. I get a little bit of crust on them. And then of course, I bake my own pie crust for this particular item. Not. So everybody doesn't have time to do that. But if you do, please send me a recipe. I would like it. I use the thing out of the reefer in any major store, 2 pie crusts. So what I did over here, obviously I'm trying to get a round circle into a square. Now you know we can't do that, but if you cut the ends off, it looks like that. I greased my pan. It's a 13x9 pan. I rolled out my rest of my pastry that I sweated over. I should put flour on my face so that way it would look like I did it, but I didn't do it. So, and then I just rolled it out a little bit thinner because I like a 2 crust. So if you like a 1 crust, then that's fine too. So we did that, and then my hands are clean. I didn't hit my nose this time, so we're all good. And then you stab it. Why do you stab it? Bakers know. So the steam.
It doesn't puff up.
Bit, you know, and I'm preheating my oven for 450 because that's what it says on my pie thing. Now that'll show any kind of products because then I have to pay people, and you know I'm poor. So you just stab it. If you're a baker, then you know to put the heavy weights on it so it doesn't do that. But I'm not that good of a baker, so I just do it this way. Okay, I did melt a little bit of butter just because I like the butter, and I'm going to paint it on. So I do this part first. That way the bottom is crusty, it's not soggy when I do it. You can use egg wash if you wish, but you know me, if you're going to do it Southern style, you're going to use the butter. So paint, paint, paint. Looks beautiful. Okay. Come back, we'll show you some more. We look forward to seeing you. Aloha. Aloha, folks, and welcome back to Kimo's Own Grinds. Okay, this is the bottom of our pastry. I worked really hard. I kneaded everything and did everything that I was supposed to do. Not. This is actually in any grocery store. I used that. I rolled it out a little bit, cut the edges off so the round would fit in my square. Now, we all know in elementary school you can't do that. But hey, yeah, you know. So, if you have lots of time, you can also make your cream of chicken soup. But I don't have that much time, and I know most people don't. So I just get a couple of cans of cream of chicken soup. You know, and then I just dock it up. So we got 1. We got 1. I put this all in a bowl because I need to mix things with it. That way I don't, you know, a big mixing bowl. If you don't have a big mixing bowl, go to any dollar store and you need to find one because you really need one. So we did that. Because my wife likes to do dishes, I try to make as many as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Hannah Bonnie. I do 1 can for 2 cans of stuff.
1 can of water.
1 can of water.
To 2 cans.
To 2 cans of soup that I made really hard on my own. Now, If you want to make some chicken stock in this, you can do that as well. But my chicken stock went into my chicken that was boiling. Now I use my dirty hand to cover it up just because, you know, it is like it is.
Yeah, it's not dirty.
It's not dirty, but you know, so that way I give a little bit moisture. Okay. Then, again, I try to make as much mess as I possibly can because my wife likes to do dishes. And we have a new service. It's called Rent-A-Husband.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
Please follow us on Rent-A-Husband. So the cream of chicken looks like this because, again, I'm using, you know, canned soup. So we do that. And then, of course, I wash my hands because they're dirty. Did that. Okay. Then look for my hot pad. So, all those root vegetables that I grew in my garden, I put in here. I use the cast iron skillet. If you have a saute pan, that's fine. Whatever you got is what you use. You do need to do this. Now, you don't have to, but I think it tastes better this way. And I try not to make a mess. So, we did that. And then the chicken that I boiled, I put in there. I cut it into cubes. I use breast because that's what I had. But if you have thighs, please use the thighs. Thighs are good too. It doesn't matter. So again, this is what I had today. So I mix it all up nice and pretty. You can eat it like this if you want. Get a spoon and grind. But this is my chicken pot pie. So you mix all the ingredients. Again, the root vegetables is potatoes, carrots, celery, onion. So I cut them in different shapes just because, you know, it looks pretty. Cut them on the thicker side. I know there's 50 million versions out there. Add a little bit more water just because it's still too thick. Because of my soup that I made from scratch. There we go. Okay. So. And I did add salt and pepper to my vegetable balls. Again, this is set, so I put a little butter on top to get it golden brown. A 13x9 pan, I sprayed just because my wife doesn't like doing dishes. So. I put the whole thing in there. Just because, you know, see, 13x9 pan is not, you know, see, if you can do a cream of chicken soup on your own, awesome. Please send me the recipe, but I don't have that kind of time because my wife works me, you know, pretty hard. Love you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a good wife.
Thank you.
So, okay. And you should show them the pile of dishes I have in the sink for you. Come, follow
That's
me.
okay.
No, you need to follow me too.
They don't need to see dishes.
Oh, trust me, they need to see the dishes.
No.
Yes. So, again, my round goes into my square. I put it like that. So, and again, my oven is still preheating at 450. I cut the edges so it's more square. Just because everything is cooked, so basically what you're going to be doing is warming this up and cooking the dough. So we did that, and then, as you know, if you're a baker or you're a pie maker, you need to cut This, everybody knows it's venting. I know I get pukas on the side, so it's really gonna vent anyway. But you know, my wife is happy when I make pukas. And if you don't know what a puka is, it's a hole. Then I paintbrush my butter, because you can never go wrong with too much butter. Paint, paint, paint. So, that's it. Please come over here and look at my dishes.
No, no dishes.
Because it's wonderful. I have 4,000 dishes. Before she goes to bed tonight, she has to clean it. So, anyway, this is probably about 20 minutes, I would think. Because basically you're crusting it. I can't, you know, I use a timer because I'm old and I forget the timer. So 20 minutes, we'll check it. And that's it. Hey folks, okay, we're back again. And this is the finished product of my chicken pot pie. This is my version. It's a bubbling. It's about 35 minutes. And we're gonna put it right there and we're gonna let it rest. I don't know about you, but my food gotta rest. Because then it'll do that. See how it's all bubbling? And this crust, I put a little bit of butter on it. It has a little bit of crust. And we're just gonna let it go. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video and this recipe. And please give me comments if you know something that I didn't do correctly. I'm always looking forward to seeing that. Aloha from Kimo's. Oh, no! Aloha, folks. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for notifications. Aloha.